Welcome to the Water Cooler, guys. Episode number 106. So for those of you who are new to the Water Cooler or some of our longtime fans here, the Water Cooler is a podcast about marketing, sales, technology. We have over 100 episodes on YouTube and iTunes. Each episode, we focus on bringing you advice that works. So today, we're going to actually be focusing on Facebook ad best practices. We're going to be sharing tactics you can begin to immediately implement and improve your ad performance. My name is Jimmy Mackin. I'm joined by my co-host, my main man, Chris Smith. Yes. Welcome to the Water Cooler. Just a quick housekeeping here. Oh, I'm sorry. We have Sarah here. Sarah, our new co-host. She's already given. Yeah, there she is. She's gonna be monitoring the social channels for us as well. So
let me say one thing about Facebook, just the stats side.
Sure.
Because the numbers we hear a lot are the top line numbers, like the numbers you just gave, like this many billion and this much percentage of that. You also will hear that Facebook has 2 billion members. You will hear 30 million pages. For businesses. But I actually looked at who is running ads. And Jimmy, I didn't even share this with you yet. We did know 3 million businesses are running ads. But what I didn't know that I learned in researching this show today is that only 1 million of those businesses are small businesses.
Okay.
So of the 3 million running ads, 2 million are medium, large size companies.
Yeah.
So if you think about this idea that I'm a small business and there's only 1 million people like me that are even trying this, meanwhile, there's 2 billion users to tap into. Here's our question of the day. How much money have you personally spent so far on Facebook ads for your business? Is it $100? Is it $100,000? We actually manage $3 million per year in ads for ourselves and our clients.
It's like Facebook's one of those things where it's become so ubiquitous that's kind of boring in some respects, right? People are sort of looking past it. And really the argument we're making is like the people with the smart marketers are really doubling down, tripling down on it. Gary Vee was at Inman Connect this past July or past August, and he talked about one of the big mistakes he made as a marketer when Google advertising was really at their sort of golden age, right? He says, the thing I still kick myself in the ass about is I didn't triple down. I didn't quadruple down. And his advice is sort of spot on in that, right?
Jimmy, I've had people come to me, 5 to 8 years ago, and they said, hey, I made 40 grand in pay-per-click last year, but I had to spend 4 grand. Should I double my spend to 8? Why would you ask that?
Yeah.
Like there's saturation points and there's stuff with frequency that we have to discuss.
Sure.
But if you went to the bank and gave them 4 and they gave you 40, you'd be there every freaking morning. If you're not doing great Facebook ads, you're not doing great internet ads. How much work is there, Jimmy, to buy a fucking zip code on Zillow? What do they need from you? Your headshot, your phone number, and then some reviews and some solds. That's not great advertising. That's a new banner ad that works sometimes. There's way more you could be doing. So let's get into it.
Cool. Well, real quick, we got some answers from the community here. I'll pull Sarah in. We got people actually replying from your first question. Awesome. So Sarah, what are some of the quick answers from people in terms of what their ad spend is?
$500 to $700 a week, and then you got some big time people about $15,000 a month. So definitely people are spending a lot of money on Facebook.
They're either spending it now or they're going to spend it. And the point of this show is that you might as well do it right. You might as well, and I'll be honest, we're going to share best practices, but how do we learn those, Jimmy? By messing up. We're going to teach you what to do because we did so many ads wrong. We did the 119 tests before the light bulb worked.
Let's set the framework up here because we're going to break this down in sort of logical sections for you. Let's start with what all ads start with, which is great copy. What advice would you have for marketers who are looking to basically improve their copy, and why is it the number one thing we focus on when it comes to writing great ads?
Honestly, those of you that are DIY marketers, you're not a professional marketer. You don't know how to write copy. You definitely don't know how to write web copy.
Yeah.
The first thing you need to do is get Grammarly. I mean, honestly, Jimmy, they need to download Grammarly and check their freaking grammar, check their spelling, check their commas, because it's amazing how much web copy is just quite simply sloppy.
Yeah.
So that would actually be the first. We have a system called Devil's Advocate. We don't publish a Facebook post or ad without another person reading it and making sure that it's not going to embarrass us.
Basic fundamental writing in terms of proper grammar, proper sentence structure, these are crucial to actually communicating to potential buyers.
Yes, and often brevity wins. So as an example, one of my favorite sayings is that I didn't have time to write a short letter, so I wrote a long letter. And that's what I think people do with their Facebook ads. They write these really long ads because they think they have to put every bit of information they can fit into the ad. And the ad is the billboard. The ad is the poster for the movie. It's not the movie. The ad is the headline about the movie. Incredible, amazing, astonishing. It's not the whole movie. So brevity wins. But here's the key. This is what people forget, Jimmy. The people that will really buy based on a click read every word twice. We started an ad years ago that said, would you like to know your home's value? Click here to learn more. That is good. It's short, it's concise, it's to the point, and it takes them down a path. But by adding to the beginning of that copy, selling your home soon, question, want to know how much it's worth first? Like, it doesn't seem different. It's only like 5 or 6 words. But like that the ability to warm up a lead or repel. Jimmy, I want to repel clicks. This is pay per click. So if I sell $10,000 services, my ad has to mention how expensive it is, or I'm wasting my money. So be specific, be brief, but don't be afraid to identify who should click in the ad. And sometimes that will lead to people not clicking. So copy can be just as powerful as targeting when it comes to filtering leads that are good versus bad.
I think one last point, we'll move on to images here and the importance of images. One last point I think you and I talk about all the time is this concept of, when you write great copy, you can repurpose it in all your other media. So if you write a great blog post with great copy, you're sort of just dissecting and distilling that down for your Facebook ad. You're dissecting and distilling that down for your email campaign. So writing great copy once and then repurposing it across other channels.
That's a huge tip, Jimmy. Let me just say one thing about how we do that at Curator. If we write a great blog post that is what we're advertising, or if we build a great landing page, the copy for the ad and the email come from the original source of the page or post. But it's not a pure copy paste. It's snippets from the original piece. So obsess about the copy at the source of where they're headed, and the ads and the emails will write themselves.
Then we obviously have the next piece of the ad unit. And this is actually not just specific to Facebook. It's really kind of universal now in the digital age, which is images.
Image is everything. There's a lot of ways you could interpret that quip. When you go to create a Facebook ad, as much as I just said copy is critical, I want you to build every ad you ever build as if there's only an image. Like, you can't beat around the bush with your imagery. In real estate, if you're paying to get great photography done for a listing, you probably have that great image. If it's a ad for a property. I mean, Lisa from one of our clients, Lisa, that post that she had that got like 4,000 clicks. The images were beautiful. The people in our mastermind that commented about it said they wanted the porch. And it was because of the picture of the porch. We actually looked at this a couple of years ago, and we found that professional, edited, high-res, quality pictures will get you a 3 times click-through rate compared to amateur, non-edited photos. But obsess about the picture. Obsess about what it looks like. We'll talk about embellishments in a bit. But Jimmy, when you don't have the photo you need, because this happens a lot when you're blogging, right? Let's say we write the ultimate Facebook checklist. And we want the image with that ad to be a checklist, but we don't have a picture of a checklist. Like Sandra didn't take a picture of a checklist.
Sure.
So where should someone go if they want amazing images for their ads that are relevant to their ads, that won't make their brand look like a stock photo factory? Because the point is that some of the images that you need to run great ads, you don't have. So recommend where people can go, because our clients ask us this all the time.
A few of my favorite is Stock Up. It's actually Stock Up. You just Google Stock Up, images. What's awesome about this is that they actually will upload new stuff virtually every day, like 7, 10 images from photographers across the globe who are sharing high res, high def, free to use images for your content, for your ads, for your emails. Hold on, Chris. We got a question from the audience. We'll pull in Sarah here real quick.
Hey guys, I have an interesting question from Shannon, and she wants to know, should she use humor in her Facebook ads?
That's a great question. I think the answer is my gut quick answer is absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you've got the other ones down, like it's very important to establish, like, I've got buyer leads coming in, I've got seller leads coming in, now I can get cute. Or like for Curator, we have demos for our team. We have a lot of traffic on our site. Now we can be funny. So the answer is yes. That, remember, you're marketing to people. Let's give a good example here, Jimmy. Remember Firefly Real Estate?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a company in Arizona.
Now we'll share that. It's great stuff.
Try to find this because they have lawn signs that are like brilliant as Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Because instead of saying like the agent and the phone number and like the bed and bath, like on the lawn sign, the whole lawn sign says better than your mom's basement. That would crush it as a Facebook ad. Yes. If you want to make a photo pop, or if you want to put a border around it, which can help the click-through rate, if you want to kind of spruce it up, canva.com, CANVA, PicMonkey.com, right? And then there's even apps. There's a really cool app called Ripple, RIPL. And there's a really cool mobile app called Over. These are basically apps that you can then take the photo that you bought or take the photo that you took and very, very quickly add a ribbon, add a border, add text, add your logo, right? Sometimes you're doing a branding ad. You know, we see a lot of this with Gary Vee. It's just a picture of him and a small quote, but he's always got the logo there. He's always got the signature there. So the embellishments are critical. And let me say one last thing on photos.
Sure.
Facebook loves photos. And so they now have so many options for photo uploads. It's ridiculous. There is the album, which we found that does great when you want to showcase multiple pictures of one thing, like a house. But they also have a carousel where you can put 5 different photos and people can swipe. But they also have another one called a slideshow now. It's basically photos, but it turns it into a video. But they've also got another one that I want people to check out called Canvas ads. And these are largely photo driven. Jimmy, what about the 360 pano photo?
Those are crazy.
It's an ad unit now. So when I say image is everything, it starts with great photos, but Facebook wants images in the ads. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. If you're watching and the only thing you've ever done is run a click to website ad where there was just one image, try the Canvas ad, try the carousel ad, try the photo album ad, try the slideshow ad. The visual image-based ad units are great. And all you have to do is try it, hit boost, try it, hit boost. So don't just obsess about your images, obsess about the plethora of ad units that leverage images differently.
Well, Sarah has a quick question from Beth here. I just want to jump in and we'll get into the last couple topics we want to talk about.
So Beth has a question. She has like a lot of issues when she does a Facebook ad and she puts a text over photos, like warnings. It's not going to reach as many people. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is something that was a pain in the butt for us for a long time. And before, if you had more than 20% of your image as text, if you just took a picture of your business card and made it the ad, they wouldn't even run it. So what Sarah's referencing and what Beth's asking about is called the 20% rule, which is that if you uploaded an image with more than 20% of that image consisting of words, they've backed off that. And what they do now is you can put more text, you can put more copy, but they're not going to show it to as many people and they might charge you more. What I'm coaching my team and what I'm teaching my marketers to do is still try to stay within 20-30% text ratio.
Let's talk about the audience first and we'll get into budgeting. So from an audience perspective, I think the first thing that people do is the first common mistake they make, right, is they generally just run ads to their page. So whoever's liked their page is sort of the default option in a lot of instances. They'll just click boost, spend $5, and that's sort of the end of the story. Obviously, we coach against that. Give me your philosophy on audiences. How do you coach our clients, our team on how to basically build the perfect audience?
Sure. Most small business owners don't have a million likes, or if they do, it's like their family and friends. And so what you really want to do is what I call 2 to 3 audiences. One, I call it the magic million. And that would be anybody with a pulse who might buy from you or refer to you. So if I'm a real estate agent and I'm working in Beverly Hills, I want my ads in front of everybody in 90210 that's over 25. Like, I'm not segmenting it more than that. That would be my whole targeting. And some people would say, well, what about homeowners? And what about college degree? And what about employment? And what about income? And what about homeowner, yes or no? Those options are all there. That is what I use on my second audience. But for my first audience, which everybody needs, because what you guys need is reach. And so the first audience everybody needs is a big one, right? Your whole city, your whole town that likes yoga. That's a big one. Think of it as a funnel, right? Funnels go like this.
Sure.
This is the audience up here. And we understand they're not down here, but there's so many people up here that I don't want to only market at the bottom. Your first audience is everybody with a pulse that might buy or refer to you. And with that audience, you're not going to put out ads that generate as many leads. It's more content marketing, shows like this, ebooks, blog posts, helpful information. But the other audience everybody needs is then the audience who might buy. Okay. So you've got your magic million, your broad audience, but then we use a combination of people who like our page, people who have visited our website, and people who are in our database. So it's really about having a couple audiences. Now, the pro tip here is that these are called custom and saved audiences. You can upload your database, install a retargeting pixel, and you can create a saved audience with all the demographics I just mentioned. By the way, quick pro tip. If you have a huge database and it's constantly growing, they have a tool called DriftRock. And what DriftRock does is every time a new lead gets added to your database, no matter where it comes from, it will put them into your ad unit dynamically. So if you got a Zillow lead from their Zillow mobile app that dumped into your follow-up boss, that person would then see your ads on Facebook. Like, it's really cool that you can do that. Last 2 things, Jimmy, and then we'll wrap it up. One is going to be about budget, and one is going to be about duration. In 1 minute, what are the do's and don'ts of budget? Having looked at $3 million worth of budget yourself, what is the, yes, you should think about this, but here's really where people screw up when it comes to budget?
Sure. I think that the number one thing people screw up is there's 2 things actually. Number one, I think we're entering in this age of like the death of ongoing campaigns, meaning people basically set a monthly budget of $1,000 and they just let the ad run. And they never really monitor it. They just let the ad run. And what happens is Facebook essentially, once it hits a certain frequency, once it reaches a certain amount of people, the performance begins to really decline. So from a budgeting perspective, you really want to be positioning your budget in terms of running sort of ongoing promotions, in terms of when you have something new to promote, spending the money there as opposed to sort of just packaging it on a month-to-month basis. In terms of the actual ad spend, I find most people don't spend enough money, Chris. Most people are too sheepish. They'll spend $10, $20 on an ad. They're afraid to spend $60, $70, $80 on an ad. So one of the things that we always coach our clients on is you have to reach what we call escape velocity, meaning that the moment your ad starts reaching enough people, you start getting enough shares, enough likes, enough comments, then every other person who sees that ad in their newsfeed sees an ad that doesn't have 5 likes, it has 500 likes. Sure. And the likelihood of them clicking through on that ad it goes way up. Okay. So that's number one, spending more money. In terms of, and this is a very specific tactic, we call it the double down strategy and cut your losers. So when you're running an ad, you want to be thinking about when an ad is actually performing well. Let's say within the first $20 of the ad spend, it's performing well, right? You're getting lots of likes, lots of comments, lots of shares. Don't think about divvying up your ad budget equally across all ads. Take some money from other ads, from future ads or past ads, and double down on the winners.
Reboot.
And reboot, exactly. Reboost it. Spend another $60 on it. Spend another $100 on it. Because what you'll find is this, Chris, and we've looked at this many, many times. It can be sometimes hard to call your shot, but when you have a high performing ad, you know it. And when you know it, don't be afraid to double down, because what you'll find is 10%, 20% of your ads over the course of a month might result in 90% of your leads, 90% of your engagement.
Great point. The 80-20 rule, 20, and this is so true with everything in life, but Facebook ads too. 20% of your ads will get you 80% of your results. So when you identify a 20% ad, boost it again, add budget to that. It's not always about coming up with a new and better ad. One other thing on duration and budget and this and that, Facebook has a thing called day parting. And it's a little complicated to use, but you can basically make sure your ads are running while your sales team is working. Novel concept. And so what we've coached our clients on, because they need simple, they don't want to go into ads manager and day part. When you come in the morning at 7:30 or 8, hit boost. When you go to leave at 6 or 6:30, hit pause. You can actually just pause and unpause your ads while you're at work. So we covered budget, which basically is you're not spending enough. And when you do find money that's worth spending, double it. We covered duration. There's no set it and forget it. You talked about frequency, Jimmy. I'll give you the hard truth. Most people need to see an ad 3 to 6 times before they'll click. So if you're running ads and your frequency is 1 or 2, there's a good chance they won't click. But the inverse of that, which is why this stuff's so much the devil's in the details, the inverse of that is that between frequency, just meaning how many times they've seen it, 7 and 10, conversion goes down and cost goes up.
Now you've done everything right up until this point. You've got the perfect ad, and you're ready to basically turn that ad into real dollars for you. What do you do?
Well, the challenge is that every single thing we covered in today's episode, Jimmy, doesn't matter if the destination sucks. So when I talk about the destination of the ad, it's the article you're driving to. It's the landing page you're sending them to. It's the website that they visit because they clicked on the ad. And so you really need to think about your destination. And we interviewed a really sharp guy named Oli Gardner, and he started Unbounce. They've helped 31,000 businesses generate millions of leads through their landing pages. And when we sort of cornered him and said, what's that one thing that matters the most, he taught us about a technique called coupling, right? So if there's an image in the ad and there's copy in the ad and there's all these other things that we talked about in the ad, then you can't like drive someone somewhere and those things are all gone. So if we say the water cooler is a show about marketing, sales, and technology, we put out a new episode every week. Please go and subscribe to our newsletter. If we did that, and then when they clicked, it said, welcome to Curator, meet your new marketing team. We wouldn't get any subscriptions. If we get the click and they go to a landing page or a form or a post that says, welcome to where you can subscribe for the water cooler, a show about marketing, tech, and sales that comes out weekly, right? So all you're doing is you're really recapping the copy from the ad, the image in the ad, the purpose of the ad. You're recreating that on your landing page or in your content that you send to. And here's why that's critical. Internet consumers, Jimmy, only give you 8 seconds of their time before they start focusing on something else. So that's what I would wrap up with would be, are your ads awesome in less than 8 seconds? And then when someone clicks on them and they go to that destination, in less than 8 seconds, can they match that where they came from is where they wanted to go?
You know, a strategy Chris and I coach our clients on that we're seeing is that there is a destination in which you drive someone to a landing page, but we're also seeing the reemergence of driving them to the comment section of a post where you can actually really drive, interaction and engagement and conversions in the comments.
Well, it's one post, one purpose, right? One ad, one purpose. And sometimes in 2016 and beyond, the purpose of the ad is comments, likes, or shares.
Exactly.
It's not always clicks. So what I see a big mistake people make is, hey, we just did this awesome thing, click here. And also we'd love it if you would like or comment on this post. You get one call to action, guys. You're lucky if that one works.
Yeah.
So if you start telling people to like and subscribe and do all this in one Facebook ad that they look at for less than 8 seconds, they actually won't understand your true intent.
Yeah.
Now, what Jimmy's saying is that your true intent is not always a link. Sometimes your true intent is reach or engagement or comments. Like if I did an ad that said, if you're selling your home in the next 60 days, put your address in a comment now, and we will create a Xactimate for you.
Mm-hmm.
That ad would get no clicks and comments, and then nobody should be mad if they didn't get traffic. But if we said, click here to get your home's value, or leave a comment here, you won't get as many of either.
Mm-hmm.
So one ad, one purpose, but the purpose isn't always a click. It could be a video view, a comment, a like, a share,
Mm-hmm.
a reach. So yeah, clearly defining your purpose of your ads before you launch them is definitely the last best practice. Thank you guys for tuning in. Jimmy, I thought that was a great show. Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching.